Urban Witcher, Part 1. Be me. Starting to get hungry. Time to hunt.png. Look for signs of prey. Track monster to its lair. Break into house and go to the basement door. Can hear the creature breathing heavily. Horrifying sounds of like someone fisting a jar of mayo. The smell of piss and sweat is seeping through the door. Don't even gag anymore because I am a professional. Apply neckbeard oil to my silver sword and chug a Chad decoction. Lay out bait. Hentai and manga with some Cheeto dust. Rumbling coming from the stairs. The door opens. The beast is naked and covered in pimples. Dried and fresh cum all over its body. Stark naked except for a Naruto headband. Medium-sized, at least 400 pounds. It bends over to pick up its prize. Dingleberries are large on this one. Spring from behind the living room couch. Slash into its flesh. The creature lets out a mighty "Ree!" It swings its massive weight around trying to attack. It's out of its lair. It can't see me yet because the sun is blinding it. Few more slashes. The protective layer of grease is rushing into the wounds to stop the bleeding. The creature hits me with a thrashing blow. The autism-enhanced strength sends me through a wall and into the kitchen. Mommy, bad man, attack me. Ree. I made sure the mother was gone before the hunt. The creature is hysterical. Rushes at me through the hole it just made. Drywall scraping against its flesh as the hole widens. Shoot it with my hand crossbow. The bolt sinks harmlessly into its flesh. Suddenly feces are flying into the air. My armor has been hit and is starting to dissolve. Tear off the pieces as fast as I can. The beast makes it through the hole and rushes me. Time to finish this .gif. Launch myself off the kitchen sink and behead it in one fluid move. Body collapses to the floor and shakes the whole house. Shit and piss spray everywhere. Enter the neckbeard's lair. Piss bottles and Mountain Dew cans everywhere. Dujan just laying out in the open. Fresh mental wounds cut into my mind. Search through the pizza box and cum tissues. This creature has been nesting for a while. Find 2-foot-high pile of poop socks in the closet. On what the creature surely called a bed is a body pillow. The faded image of Tracer eclipsed in years of semen can be seen. Continue my search near the computer area. I finally find it. Good boy points card is filled to the brim. Throw a dancing star bomb into the lair as I leave. Whole house burns down. Go out and order a feast of tendies and honey mussy. Part 2. Sitting at Mickey D's. Enjoying some tendies and honey mussy. Procured from stolen good boy point cards. Witcher senses warn me of danger. The smell of Funyuns, instant ramen and despair announce their presence before I can see them. A pack of 4 neckbeards walk inside. All wearing fedoras and trench coats. One is carrying katanas. The others have a staff, nunchucks, and those Chinese knife things. Overweight mutant virgin turtles.png. I finish the last of my nuggies and stand to face them. One of them starts speaking, voice cracking with rage. We know who you are. We have traced you here. Prepare to die for your crimes against us and our kind. I'm getting sloppy. I must not have cleansed the stench of my last kill off myself well enough. Neckbeards can track each other's piss and cum scents like wolves. These ones haven't evolved into nesters yet. They are able to speak in full sentences and can walk in the sunlight like humans can. Neckbeards in their mid-stage weeb form aren't quite as dangerous as they are in their nesters forms, but there are enough of them that the threat is real. I tell them, if you know who I am, then you know what's about to happen. I go to reach for my sword. The closest one slices the air with its katanas and screeches. It runs towards me, the bulk of the monster's weight, lets it crash through the tables and chairs like they were nothing. Do a flip to the side and unsheath my sword. The momentum the creature has gained is too great for it to stop or turn. It slices into an elderly couple that were sitting behind me, killing them instantly. At least they didn't suffer. .jpg. The others take their chance while I'm distracted. With a mighty ree, they come at me in a wave. Falling back, I toss a grape shot bomb at the group. The shrapnel embeds in their flesh. One reels back, but the others are unfazed by the pain. People are screaming and running out the door. Falling back further to the counter, I pull out my crossbow and shoot the one with knives in the leg. The monster falls. One of its blades pierces into its massive tit. The beast lets out an ear-splitting screech and immediately soils itself. The one still charging at me raises its staff to strike. My little pony keychain swings wildly at the end. I parry at the last second, stepping to the side, letting my blade cut the creature's throat. The neck erupts with corrosive Mountain Dew Code Red and a half-digested Doritos as the abomination slams into the counter. An employee who is standing behind the counter is showered in it. There's nothing I can do but listen to their screams as the flesh melts from their bones. I'm not paying enough attention. The one with katanas is back in action. A slice from its masterwork maul blade cuts into my side. The pain streaks across my abdomen and I jump behind the counter. Nunchucks and katanas slash at the air above me. Their bloated forms are too big to follow me directly over the counter. I can feel the counter starting to give in from their pushing and flailing. I search around in my satchel. I take a pull from my swallow bottle to stem the bleeding, but I can feel something pulsing through my veins. The weeb put Belle Delphine's gamer girl bathwater on his blades. I need to treat this soon or I'll be dead. I somersault over the dead employee. Standing up, I jam my sword into the ice cream machine and flick my sword at them. The liquid ice cream from the broken machine flies off my blade and goes directly into the katana wielder's eyes. The creature slashes blindly and kills its kin. The ground shakes as it falls to the ground and bursts open like an overfed tick. The smell is indescribable. Now is my chance. I throw my silver sword. The tip lands square into its face, pinning it to the wall and killing the abomination. I remove my sword from its skull and the body slumps forward into the fetid mess the other left. The last one lays injured on the floor. It says something in Japanese. I start stomping on its head while it speaks. Can't chance getting cursed while poisoned. Skull caves in. I survey the wild destruction that has taken place. Loot their good boy point cards and take a fedora as a trophy. Walk out of McDonald's. Victorious. Van is parked outside. I can smell their filth on it. One of the neckbeard's mothers is inside. Wink at her and tip hat. Milady, walk into the sunset. Part 3. Be me. A witcher. Sustain myself on tendies. Mostly deal with creatures called neckbeards. Steal good boy point cards from them. I need supplies to keep hunting. Ran out of Chad decoction during last encounter. 600-pound big boy with mommy home. Nearly died. Story for another time. GIF. Chads have a gland on top of their liver that delivers alpha hormones directly into the bloodstream. Need this in order to make Chad decoction with alchemy. Gland needs to be potent for it to be effective. Passed up many lesser Chads. I found one. Stalk it for a while. Although there are many types of Chads, this Chad appears to be the focal point of a large group of Stacys, Roasties, and Jocks. Stacys all service the Chads sexually. Roasties seek to usurp the Stacys while befriending said Stacys. Jocks feed off the Chad's leftover pussy like a pack of wild hyenas. In turn, they boost the Chad's ego, which fuels the magic the alpha gland runs on. It's a simple but aggressive ecosystem. Buy some tendies with my dwindling good boy points supply. I set my plan into motion. Have to isolate the Chad. Make a fake Instagram profile. Load it with pictures of an attractive woman. Message the Chad. It doesn't take long for it to respond. The larger the Chad's ego is, the more dangerous it is, but easier to lure. Tell him we can meet at a bar to watch the sports ball game and then bang. Cover my scent with Axe body spray to avoid detection. Go into the bar. Use the last of my good boy points to get a drink. Applejuice.png. Lay and wait in a booth in the back. Although there aren't many women in here, I can smell their vaginas moistening in unison. The beast approaches. 7'2", easily 300 pounds of pure muscle. Backwards cap and tap-out shirt on. So many rings adorn its fingers I can't be sure they aren't made of gold. Its chiseled chin brushes against the doorframe and slices a chunk of wood from it. I don't think it even notices. Old Spice and Drakkar Noir seeps into my nostrils. My Witcher physiology keeps a majority of the scent-induced fear at bay. The bar goes quiet from the sheer presence of this creature. Through some witchcraft, the music changes mid-song to dubstep. Something comes in behind him. The jocks start filing in, each one wearing a different jersey, all wearing flat-brimmed hats with the price sticker still on. One is wearing white socks with Nike sandals and basketball shorts. I managed to stifle the urge to vomit. They weren't supposed to be here. I'll have to improvise. The jocks get the permission nod from the Chad and go sit at the bar. They do little without prior approval. The Chad sniffs the air. Its senses are keen. It's searching for the promised putang. Millennia of apex predator evolution make Chads a lethal foe. Men in the bar shift uncomfortably in their seats as he surveys the area. The women begin to bare their breasts as an offering. It huffs twice. I can sense the anger beginning to build, engorging the alpha gland with hormones. Its ego has been challenged. The jocks can smell the hormone change and are getting restless. They squirm and try to hide their envious erections for the women who are offering themselves to this exemplary specimen. I need to think fast before this monster starts killing the men and sexing the women. The Chad bellows, "Bro, I think that bitch stood me up, bro." The jocks reply with a chattering chorus of subsequent bros of their own. They are distracted. Finish my apple juice. Throw a Samum firebomb at the bar. The alcohol catches fire and explodes. Jocks go flying. A few are on fire, the others stunned. The bartender is a smoking husk. Draw my sword. I leap on a table and sprint across tabletops. Attempt to close the distance between me and my prey. The Chad is more powerful than anticipated. I've underestimated its abilities. The beast notices me right away. In a single motion, it picks up a nearby man with one arm and throws him at me. I take the hit directly to the chest and fly back across the bar. The man dies on the impact. People scream and chaos ensues. The sheer force of the throw has broken some of my ribs. It's hard to breathe. I struggle to stand. The jocks are beginning to recover. One charges at me with such reckless abandon that it drops its jewel. I put the lesser being down with a crossbow bolt in the eye. Meanwhile, another, still ablaze, tears the leg off of a chair. What now, you piece of filth.jpg? Screaming its fantasy football stats from last year, the creature runs at me and takes a wild swing. I am able to counter the sloppy blow and cut down the beast with a two-handed slice. The sword sinks into its torso and cleaves it down to the hip. The body slides limply onto the floor, almost peacefully. I pull my sword out of its corpse and ready myself for the next attack. The patrons are beginning to run out of the bar in fear. They are clogging the back door in their panic. My escape plan is now impossible. The worst has yet to come. I didn't kill the Chad in time. It lets out an almighty roar that breaks the remainder of intact glass in the bar. Its massive 5-foot dick tears out of its jeans. The girth is unbelievable. The Chad begins swinging it around and one of the jocks gets too close. The jock's skull crumples as the gargantuan peen smashes its head into the wall. The remaining jocks know the fury of his cock and cower behind their patriarch. They murmur unintelligible threats from the shelter of his wrath. Skittish and cowardly things. The Chad charges. His skin cannon is obliterating everything in sight. Splinters of wood from tables and chairs along with the viscera of the dead joins the smoke in the air. I swiftly load another bolt and fire it directly at the P-bus. The bolt skitters across a vein and bounces away. I am hurting bad now. With great effort, I jump as high as I can before its death pipe finishes me for good. I miss its flesh spear but slam directly into the Chad's torso. The monster's love organ pierces the bricks and the entire back wall explodes out into the back alley. I soar through the air and land in a pile of rubble. Bodies of those who were trying to escape litter the ground. The Chad is unharmed. His wang swings in the wind as he approaches me slowly. The monster leans in to speak to me. The smell of Jaeger bombs, blackened milds, and stale muff is suffocating. What? So you catfished me, bro? Huh? Are you gay, bro? The foolish creature has no idea what it has just done. With a weak breath from my battered body, I was able to complete the spell. No, you. The Chad's face turns red. Its eyes begin to bleed and bulge out of its face. The foul thing's skin begins to blister as it bursts into green and black flames. The Chad begins to roar louder and louder. I cover my ears as to not go deaf. The beast's head and its mighty mushroom explode simultaneously. I am showered with bits of penis amidst a wave of blood. I cough up some blood of my own and stand. Out of fear or delusions of replacing the Chad, the jocks have fled. I cut the Chad open with my hunting knife and retrieve his alpha gland, putting it into my satchel. I take a steep draught from my swallow bottle. I search the Chad and find its dad's credit card. It'll have to do until I can recover and get more good boy point cards. I take his belt buckle as a trophy. Badass motherfucker is carved expertly into its precious aluminum. Rain starts to fall. I limp through the downpour, rinsing the Chad blood off of me. I should be okay for now, but need to get the stench off of me before I get raped by roasties. Vanish into the night.